But yeah, I'm just gonna dive into it, and as it's playing, I'll kind of go through the folders. And if there's anything you want me to come back to, or you'd like to see more of, just shout me a question like at any. Let's do it. Oh, actually, I should specify that this, if some levels sound weird, it's because I mixed in a separate project afterwards. So like the intro is a lot different. It's because I haven't been mixing. So this is the pre-mix because I stem out when I do mixing. But anyway.
Flash on. Flash on. Flash on. Flash on. Flash on.
Okay, so that is the track. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, I hope you did, because I don't know why else you're here. So yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a pretty simple track in the scheme of things. I actually thought there were going to be more files, but I've actually pared a lot of them down just before I stemmed everything out. I feel like for reference, before we dive in, I'll play bits of Ryan's original that he sent to me just to give everyone kind of a frame of reference of like what I did and the kind of workflow through it. Yeah, I mean, I played a bit of it on top of the original by accident earlier. Yeah. Oh, shit. So that's obviously just the kind of sound that goes through it. So I'll break down it. So yeah, so it's that loop, then 808. Skipping a bit more. And then back to that original. So I mean, so many of those elements that are like so core to the song were kind of already there in that original draft. And as well, something I wish we'd kept was that the file name was just horse. Incredible energy from Ryan. Big shout out. So the main things I added instantly were just kind of a lot of like sound effects, all the speech and stuff, which I guess I'll actually go through first just because it's super simple. That's just text to speech, obviously inspired by Varg. Sorry, Varg 2TM, don't want to get sued. The flanger that was applied to this is just a Mac for Life patch that was actually on the original track that Ryan sent me. I can't claim to have made it, but it is the best thing ever. I don't know if Ryan made it himself or if it's like a preset or whatever, but seriously, it is crazy. I'll give examples of that later on with like a longer form examples because it can just absolutely destroy sound and destroy Ableton at the same time. But it just gives everything so much kind of 3D space. Yeah.
Flash on.
Which is called Creepy Man 2. Is from a free sound sample. I can't recommend free sound enough. And it was literally of like someone saying like fucking taking a picture on a camera with the flash on. Actually, I think I can just drag it out. Probably shouldn't do this. But...
Taking a picture with a disposable camera with the flash
His
on.
voice changes so much just for that last word. It's kind of perfect. But it's kind of weird. It wasn't like I heard that and thought like that's got to be a sample. I actually just like really wanted to use the words flash on. You tell me why. And then comes the breakdown vocals. And the beat and all the sounds of the kid are of someone testing a remote controlled car. So yeah, so much of the shit I do is actually just downloading hideous amounts of YouTube files and then just dragging them into simpler, flicking around with them for like 2 or 3 minutes and then moving on. So that's kind of like the most of the effects in terms of like the actual like creatives, the actual sample, sorry. Let's move on to just the perks that are in the beginning. So obviously the like iPhone keyboard sound. I don't think there's much processing on this. I've actually turned a lot of it off. So this was a patch made by Ryan again. And you can see just as the width goes up and all the regen and stuff, it just kind of creates crazy feedback. So if I just play with this a bit, like... sorry for headphone users. Yeah. So if you're playing with the regen settings and stuff, it's really amazing. But the patch itself is really, really nice. But I'm just showing you things I didn't do. Oh. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're back. Then in the same folder, we've got just a Gabba kick, which is from a sample pack by someone called Reynard, who did the really famous song Quick Band Fox, which is like a massive track on Osu, the rhythm game. Of course, it comes back to rhythm games. Nothing fancy, really. And now, so the main kind of synth that goes throughout the song, I've actually bounced it down just to save on CPU, so I'm going to see if I can find out. I didn't realize that until now. But I'm sure it's just a serum patch that I made a while back. Yeah, it's this. It's just a bit. Again, nothing fancy. The French filter on Serum is an absolute godsend. Like it just destroys everything. You can write Bowie fun like Tombstone. And then just like multi-band filter on the end. I use this on everything now, and like super aggressive as well. Half of my synth sound I'll just stick that on the master, and just crunch the attack. Let me show you. This isn't to do with this song, by the way, but this is like my favorite sound that I've ever made. It's called the You Know Who bass because it's obvious who it's inspired by. But it's literally just all the attack settings here with that extra like kind of 10k hits. That's for another session. So moving on. So that's the main percussion stuff. Kicks are actually really simple. Like it's quite funny that we're breaking apart this song because I think it's actually the most atypical of like what I actually do. I think when Ryan sent me his original track, it was only about 8 channels. Normally I will use hundreds, and I really don't mean that in a flex way at all. I'll normally make sounds by stacking loads of samples on top of each other. So then with this, I just kind of try to follow Ryan's lead, I guess, and keep it as simple as possible. I think the kick is actually just what he has in the original. And then I added
the eye, Sancho.
Why?
Moving on. Is this getting sent for the kick? Yeah, so the Gigabob is another thing that was Ryan's original idea. There's a theme emerging here, isn't there? This is just on the original project. Again, I don't know if he made it or if it was a preset, but very good. I'll turn it off just for reference.
The screen, and I'm sure that Last of Us has hit the heart.
But it also works really well just to create a drum. Move on to the snares. So this. Sorry for my obnoxiously loud and kind of keyboard. Oh yeah, I forgot actually about this. This is just another sample that I found on Freesound, I think. Once again from searching flashes or flash. And the start of the sample was just a really nice snare, just straight up. It's really weird because it bears no relation to the rest, so I remember just hearing that and being like, okay. But then obviously that plays like a huge role in the rest of it. just some filtering, the same flanger, and then this was before I got the X-for OTT, just using the preset Ableton one. It's really good. I mean, I'm sure if you don't have it, I recommend. It just crunches high end like crazy. It makes everything sound really high definition. And then, apart from that, just 808 clap on battery, and then some Oshi samples, which I actually found from a Kenny Beat stream, which I use relentlessly and everything. Not even necessarily this one, but his snares and his kicks are just crazy. This one is like, I swear it's just sampled on an iPhone. Like, it sounds awful, but laid with other stuff, it's amazing. I think this one is, yeah, all pretty straightforward. And then, oh, I actually missed something when we got to the box holder, sorry. So, yeah. So it wouldn't be a song by me if it didn't feature my inhaling. Like, it's not even intentional. I just can't stop myself using it for rises and like crashes and stuff. This one I actually made for a sample pack, which I don't want to say in case it ever does come out, but called Classic Inhale, which I think I just stacked like 3 of me inhaling on a mic. I should say as well, like, I am in no way a singer at all, but the amount I use my voice is like ridiculous. It's just so easy to like make shit like this, and it does give things like a different kind of body of like physical to space to exist in. So like, even if you don't feel comfortable like in front of a mic, or like, I really would recommend just like taking your voice and turn it into a drone or like whatever. So that's that. I'll play that again. And you can sample that and you can make Jennifer Walton type beats. But I will upload that at some point. Moving on to the rises. I hope it's okay me just going through every track kind of straight up. We have the Splinter Cell, which, I mean, I think you can guess what this is going to sound like before I even do it. I can't actually remember what the original sound is. This is the thing with flash charging. See what I did? I just searched the word flash on free sound and went for every sample. I actually really do recommend doing this if you get stuck. Is just like come search a word on free sound, because the amount of weird shit on there is amazing. I started an Instagram account a while ago just documenting all the weird things I found from searching like the word pirate. Yeah, and then the noise bed underneath is a recording of a contact mic, which picks up like the electric signals inside stuff. Holly Herndon will use it live and like gates it to use it as a synchronous sources, trigger other things. I have done it myself, but because I'm lazy and I always prioritize working as quickly as possible, I just downloaded it. Like, that's kind of what my main thing when I come to working, and why I actually use my voice, it's so bloody quick, and it doesn't like interrupt my flow. As well, with all these, you'll notice that basically all of it is just samples and software. Nothing is like recorded from analog thing. Because I do love using analog, and like I love my modular and stuff, but it's kind of like a different way of working. It's more like I'll kind of devote a shit ton of time just to like recording samples out of the modular and then editing them rather than like bringing them all together. I'd love to kind of consolidate that approach a bit more to be able to be a bit more fluid, but I'm always just trying to work as quickly as possible, hence why I have so many tracks and stuff. This is maybe the biggest shame of my project, this Bounce Contact 5. It's from a program called Rise and Hit, which it's literally just rises and hits, but it has that kind of perfect cinematic, Hollywood impact sound. I guess it's like really similar to Damage. It's corny as hell, and I didn't buy it, I just got it incomplete. And so I do feel shame about using that. I really shouldn't pay my own rises, but I mean, to give things a kind of sense of cheesiness, whatever. Moving on to the SFX folder. This is right. Okay, so this is just an edited. I'm just going to turn all the effects off. if I remember rightly, this is the sound of mail getting received on an iPhone and then just edited. I think I just pitched it downloads with no warp options, then pitched it back up with warp options on the Ableton bit, and then just did a bounce out of that. And then there's some automation with the flanger and stuff. But it works as well as like a little fill. I think this folder is pretty similar. Is the riser folder, like some pieces of samples. I am interested about what awful is. I got rid of that. Fill folder, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just the same old, flanger, frequency shifter stuff. I should have put the frequency shifter on master IR. I am sorry. Just Ableton built-in 606. And now this is fun to talk about actually. This massive thing I made years ago. I started learning like synths and stuff on Massive. It's always been my favorite program, I guess. I mean, it sounds dated now, but it's kind of almost instantly taking on like a vintagey thing. Like you can tell when something's massive, but in a good way, I think. I made this for the Girl Boys remix for Moon Over Sun. It is just white noise with a comb filter. Let me play it. And then some distortion on the tube and a small reverb, which gives it that default massive sound. So if I play with it, it just sounds crazy good. I mean, there's some other like reverb, distortion, and the OTC that I mentioned earlier. I just always have problems with trying to come up with melody lines sometimes that aren't super obvious. So I mean, especially with this, like there isn't really a melody. It's just me like automating the pitch just to give it, I don't know, something to move around. But I use this loads. It's just such a good way to like build tension and also just to use it as like a, I don't know, melodic thing. Yeah. I do really recommend Massive now. I honestly still use it over Massive X. More modern talking, in my opinion. Feedback. So I can't remember if I recorded this or Ryan did, because I know it was in the demo I played earlier. But if I didn't, then I do this quite a lot, where I'll just play something through my max internals and record with the max internals, and then stick a frequency shifter on the edge. I can't show you now just because of everything. But if you start recording, then you can kind of, when you're moving the frequency of the frequency shifter, you can like play with the feedback trails and kind of pitch the reverb, the feedback, and make these crazy, crazy distortions. I'll also use them as like drones quite a lot. Just record them and then stick a bunch of reverb on. And also, if you can also just do that where if you just like play your actual song through your internal speakers and record that again, you get that feedback. And if you're like riding your actual like built-in Mac buttons, you can kind of create these swells that are in the key of your song, obviously, because it's feedback into any melodic stuff. So just doing that and then having it really quiet in the background with a bit of reverb works to make like a really nice sound bed. I think one of the great things about this song is that despite it being quite simple, it has a really nice sound bed created by all those gigaverbs that Ryan put in. I'll save this quiet breaks thing till the end. When I do my mix downs, I normally delete everything that isn't important, but I obviously kept this for a reason. Whoa, what's that? I have bounced this down, but I can show you how it's made. I think what I've done is just taken samples, chucked them into Battery, and then I use this program called Effectrix quite a lot. It's by Sugar Bytes. It was one of the first plugins I ever got. hope I'm not running out of time here, by the way. And it's really simple. It's actually like a major part of my live set as well. So as you can see, when you play along, it kind of moves across this timeline, which you can turn the timing off, and if I draw in like a loop thing, it'll just loop. So live, I'll like make loads of patterns, you know, and just assign them to keys and like play these rhythmic things live. Once again, a whole other thing, but for that kind of percussion thing, I'll have just done that, like added some rhythmic patterns and bounced it out. I love using this because once again, super quick, and you can just really quickly get like kind of rhythmic interplay and things. None of this at all is like very complicated. So I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said before, it's quite a funny one to go through just because of how relatively simple it is compared to like other tracks. Because it's like, I mean, even like some of the ones on this All Center EP like do sound super simple. Like I know Neo Renaissance Girl is like relatively simple, but the amount of kind of stacking of things is like pretty crazy. And I mean, even this I guess is overkill in some places, you know. I guess let me play those breaks because this is the song it could have been. Like I was getting really stressed about this second chorus. Actually, that's something we can talk about as well. I was getting really stressed about the second chorus because I didn't just want it to repeat. Because you have all that built breakdown and stuff, and I really wanted it to come into something new. So I played with this for a while. I kind of wish I'd left. So that's the track you could have had. I'm sorry that I let you all down. Maybe I'll release a VIP. These are all from, you know what? Should I do it? Oh, I'm gonna make it. There we go. I didn't want to dox my entire sample file. It's like when Timbaland streams and he has the like thing hidden. Yeah, I really fucking recommend this to anyone that doesn't have it. I'm not gonna leave it up for very long, but I don't know. Like, can't think of it, but grab it. It's fucking good. Yeah, and then just chopped up. Nothing fancy. I guess, yeah. So then, as well, when we were doing the test, Rob, DJ Pitcher, said that he'd never seen these little markers before. I really love doing them, basically because my projects can be so complicated. I really like having them in, and sometimes I'll put them in even when I haven't actually done anything in the song, just to kind of guide what I want to do as it goes through, you know. So even if I don't know like whatever, I might stick like a 32 bar chorus in or a 16 bar chorus and just kind of pace it along. And like by no means does it have to fit that grid. It's just to kind of motivate me to think like, oh, so it kind of has to resolve at this point, rather than having like, yeah, it just speeds things up. And then if I get frustrated with doing one section, I can just jump and be like, fuck it, let's do the chorus. Because when I'm writing, my general writing process a lot of the time is just like opening Ableton for like 10 minutes, playing around, and then like as soon as that wave of inspiration goes, just like completely like just closing Ableton and moving on, like treating it like a game or something. This one's interesting obviously because it was with someone else, and when Ryan sent that original file, the idea for like the flash on thing came like really quickly. I don't know why. I guess I was thinking about influences and cursed pictures of food with the flash on and kind of went from there. And then yeah, like when it comes to music, I'm really not conceptual about it at all. Like it's all process form for me, which is why I really love doing this, because it was like you can hear where it was going to go, especially with that build up and stuff. Yeah, and so I really do treat it like a game rather than kind of coming in with anything in mind, which is like good and bad. I think that's why the it makes it sound like the EP has like so many genres on it or something, is just because it's kind of all over the place. Because they were all started as experiments, you know, like Blush is just like, yeah, garage. I wanted to go in and like, I'll make a garage tune, and then it became that with the 8-bit things, obviously inspired by like Anna Gucci and stuff. Neo Renaissance Girl was just me playing with grain delay. Crisis of Confidence actually started as a Paramore remix because I know Aircode had did one, and so I really wanted to do one with Decode, but I thought it was too good to keep the Hayley Williams acapella in, which I regret. But you know, everyone's got to be corporate someday. So yeah, I think that's everything. I guess. I hope this was good. I've got some send. Oh, I'll go over the sends again. Gigaverb send, flanger send, guitar send. The guitar sends used a bit for the kind of subby kicks that were made on Massive, on Serum. Sorry, this cat distortion is crazy good. Oh, it just crashed. I don't know. It's really fucking good. I can't recommend it enough. My EP Why Nurse is just this. I actually bought a Rat distortion pedal, which is right next to me, because of this, and it is not as good. The like physical one is just not as good as this, in my opinion. Sacrilegious, I know, but to be honest, I really hate using sends. I really don't know why. It's bad of me, but I just much prefer to have individual things on each track, even if they have the same parameters. Wasteful, but and it really does fuck my laptop sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. How do I? Oh fuck! Sorry, I haven't had chat open, so sorry if I miss things. Let's have a look now. This is where I realized that like no one could hear me or something. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry everyone, I'm just trying to find the actual chat. Ah, there we are. Okay. Wow, okay, I missed a lot. Let me just go read through these. I'm really sorry. If anyone actually does have any questions, could they just repost them in the chat for me? Sorry about this. Oh, I feel this is so annoying. I'm actually so annoyed that I missed all of this live. I was just fucking talking to myself for ages. Melodic Hoover bangers, yeah. Could everyone hear me okay? Slash on breaks makes fun. Yeah, honestly. Wow, this is really nice. Thanks, guys. I said with being ego today, but I didn't get cat ears or a wig, so I'm really fucking sorry. And when I tried to put my little Asuka anime figure behind me, it just fell to the floor. So it was obviously not meant to be. Okay, here we go. How did you get the vocal cheers? Which vocal? The Varg TM one. Yeah, it was. I literally just searched text to speech and looked around. I know it was one that had loads of different voices, and it was like the American Woman 2 or something. Yeah, like I think it was definitely one of the more popular sites, and then I think I just downloaded it from there. You could change the speed if I remember rightly. I know this is all super vague. I can have another look. Talk about your sound design workflow a bit more generally. Are there any sounds for this project that you made separately and then dragged in while writing? That's a really good question, actually. For this, no. A lot of them were all found. Oh shit! I've left my samples up. Oh god. You can have them. Go crazy. Yeah. I'm really sample based, but for this, actually, a lot of them were bespoke, which once again is kind of out to isn't normal. The only one that I use all the time is that inhale. I mean, I record my own inhales all the time and all my own voice things, but yeah. And with my general sound design process, normally it will be me like bouncing things out from Ableton, like from projects I've actually made when I've made them bespoke and like storing them rather than like opening an Ableton project and, you know, like just like being like, I'm going to make a snare today, I'm going to make a kick today. The exception actually being the kick for this song, which I just made separately when I was having like a creative drought. I should do it more. It's definitely something I want to do more. General consensus of when the breaks behavior going. Honestly, I really should do it. I'm kind of annoyed I left them out when I listen back. Where's the wig? Sorry, everyone. Do you have any kind of dynamics processing on the master? How much bush compression? Do you link to a mastering? Yeah. I'll be honest. I am just awful, really awful when it comes to any like technical mastering stuff. The master chain on this channel was put in by Ryan again. And I've saved it since and used it. I mean, I'll use Ozone when I can. Stick a maximizer on there. But I am coming from a very privileged position in the sense that my dad is a mastering engineer. And so, yes, I get free masters. But I did not inherit those genes at all. I'm very, yeah, not that way inclined. Chat's going crazy for my dad. Yeah, no, I'm really not that way inclined. And like even generally with compression, like it just isn't. I just like I'm not good at that type of thing. I wish I was better, but I'm not even gonna front. Like I went to uni for music, I went to college for music, and I'm still shit at it. Yeah, can someone just straight up drop my dad's Discogs in the chat, please? Okay, going back to the questions. Pivot to VTuber. I honestly want to. That is like fully the goal. Do you actively avoid a lot of mixing work while you're arranging this track like this? I think you mentioned doing more mixing work in a separate project. Yes, I completely do. Literally, in my own tracks, my tracks will be clipping, absolutely clipping. And I just don't care. Not in like a punk way. It's just really not on my mind. And like I said, like I really do try and prioritize speed and fun. You know, like I only want to work on. This is like purely when I'm writing. Like when I'm mixing or stuff, I'm like whatever. I like try and get my work head on or whatever. But when I'm, you know, when I'm doing this, I'm trying to make it like gamified or whatever. I didn't fucking say that. Did I actually say that? But yeah, so when I come to mix, I will stem everything out into groups or separate tracks when I need them and then mix them that way. I find that having it in like a separate file kind of makes me put on that mixing hat, you know what I mean? It like changes me up. I hate doing it with MIDI. I think working with audio in that sense is a lot better. Yep. How do you know when there are too many elements in the same place in a bad way? I don't. It's honestly like one of my biggest faults is like overcomplicating things, which is why I say that this is like an exception to the rule, you know? Like I'm always really intricate with sound design or like automation and stuff. Actually, that's one thing I haven't shown is like automation. Let me just show you. I don't know if this is fun, but like once again, this isn't even an exciting thing, but I get really finicky about this type of thing. And so I think you just kind of know. I ain't gonna say anything technical about it, like frequency band shit. It's just like pare down as much as you feel you need to. But like if you want to be super overcomplicated and like super whatever, then fucking do it. That was a bad answer. Jen, what's OTT? I'm glad someone linked it. I ain't even gonna fucking pretend I know what it does, apart from making the track go wee woo. It makes high end go good. I am still remembering the time that you were telling me about game staging while we were very, very like drunk at 6 a.m. Like one of the first nights I met. Like all I can do is tell you that it makes the high end go wee woo. I can't tell you how it works. Like, let's try it out, you know? This is track. This is track with OTT on the master. That's not the master. Yeah. In moderation. Working my way down. Sorry. How do I generally start a track? Like just messing with sound design stuff or with the beat? I don't know. I always start on a blank project. I'll probably always start with Serum, making a sound rather than using presets. I'll just like be playing around with like FM things. And if I hear something, then I'll kind of take that thing to its logical conclusion and then open it the next day and see whether it's trash or not. But I very rarely start with drums, which is weird despite me being a drummer. Yeah. But yeah, I just say like open a sound up, play with it. If it's a good sound, save it as a thing. If it wants to be a song, cool. Like just try and, I know I've said this so much, but like try and think of it as a game. Your sound design seems pretty electroacoustic. Are there any transformation techniques you go to? Ooh, that's a really good question. I mean, I always fuck with warp settings, like just like pitching shit up loads, pitching shit down loads, and then like constantly rebouncing. I'll also, oh, that's actually a really good question. Sorry, I've just thought of something. There is this amazing sample pack. Plugin pack by someone called Michael Norris, who was the name of one of my bullies in secondary school. So it's like constantly triggering when I come to it. It's free. It only works on Mac, and it is the reason I got a Mac again because I miss them so much. They're really brutal, and they can crash your Ableton because they're really fucking loud. But all of the like spectral averaging stuff and spectral blurring, it makes it sound like, you know what, I'll just stick one on the master so you know what I mean. If this crashes Ableton. Yeah, and so I'll do that and then like play with the automation, resample it and use it as a layer. That's really fucking good to use as like a background layer. Learn how to gamify your workflow, only $10.99 a month ago. What's Jennifer Walton? Patreon coming soon. Multiband compression. Yeah. Multiband compression. Is multiband dynamics the most underrated built-in effect on Ableton? No, that is. Oh, actually, built-in effect. You know what? I'll give you that. The best instrument is simpler, 100%. Off topic, but I want to know about the harpsichord bits in Neo Renaissance. Yeah, 1 second. So it's actually a stack, and it isn't actually a harpsichord. Whoa. When I first started producing, I got Contact after a fucking lot of staging. And it comes with the Giant, which is this crazy piano. It's very, very good. This is gonna crash my Ableton video. Oh, I should show you on its own first. Just like a normal piano, but it has like crazy parameters that you can edit. And what I do is I just bump up all the noises so they're really loud, and then you also boost the shit out of the overtones, and then it creates this. I don't know whether I should have said this, to be honest, because I was really happy when I found this. You're not allowed to do this at home. So you get all that reverberation of like the body of the piano. So it's that stacked with the harpsichord on top, which is just complete factory library. Yeah. Thank you for that. That harpsichord bit took literally months. It used to be like double the size. Anyway, next question. How do you make descending subkicks sound? You just kind of played. Just you mean the main one? Like, do you mean this one? have I actually just deleted the thing? Yeah, okay. So it is a preset I made for Serum. The only two synths I use are Serum and Massive, more or less. I use others for some things, but they're the ones I'm really comfortable with making, like presets in. I also got it legit through Splice's rent to own, which is actually pretty tight. Like you pay $7.99 a month, and then after a while it's yours. Hellcake. Yeah. Okay. So it's just automation on. So there's an envelope on the cutoff of the French LP thing, which is absolutely boosted. When I turn it off, there's also that same filler. Jesus Christ, is on the actual coarse pitch of a square wave. The release is way too long, and then just with the multiband compressor on the end. Michael Norris plus one. How do you get the bass to sound quite so big? Another trick for that actually is the Wrap plugin that I mentioned. I'm not going to demo it just for time, but it has a thing called balls, and if you put balls up a bit, it is crazy. It like just destroys the bass. Also, Ira, I see you said you need to get Serum. You would fucking love Serum and Razor. The FM settings on Serum are crazy, crazy good. I'm not going to demo them either, but like seriously, that if anyone should own Serum, it's probably you. Razor's great as well, but I mean, Dan P3 is probably his best. I can't use Operator to save my life. You have no idea how bad I am with Operator. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm not even gonna like pretend at all. That one's for the real heads. That one's for the people who like have listened to a full Autechre album and don't just listen to Lady Gaga. I see all you IDM fans in chat. I think that's everything. I'm only just destroying people. If anyone has any other questions, shout me. This was fun. I should do this more. Like, maybe I am a streamer girl after all. My face is bright red though. I can feel it. Okay, cool. I will. Let me sort out some stuff. Can I D? What does that mean? I was gonna say think of like tracks that actually like like influenced this, but I don't think anything does. Like what I actually listen to is never really related. Like I very rarely listen to club music, which I know is horrible. I used to for sure, but I mean this might be a lockdown thing. But I just am listening to like a lot of. Can people see my dog? Yeah, keeping it pet on. You should see my desktop though. That is disgusting. So I'll share a link to a playlist I made of Flash Inspirations. I don't know if I ever actually shared it on anything, but the main inspirations I guess were Jazzy Cheers album, Porter Robinson, Reality Surf by Blady, Up to You by Anna Managuchi, Take Control by LFO, Spoken and Unspoken by Minor Science, Samoku by Hakushi Hasegawa, Evil by Jonathan Lindo, Perfect Dark by Ellison 404, Kremlin Dusk by Utada. Oh my god, if you do one thing today, listen to that song. It is insane. Full Soul Shuffle 2020 by Lil Uzi Vert. I don't need to just read all these out. I do my beer. It is just a Budweiser. The thing is, right, that Monster Ultra completely fits my energy. But I get heart palpitations really easily, so I actually have had to quit caffeine. F in chat, to be honest, because it's ruined my life. Like, all I want to do is drink coffee, but my heart is too slow to drink caffeine, it turns out. I also have Mary on the Wall, which is a grouper track in this fucking inspiration playlist, which is like, I don't know why I need to put that, because it like, none of the EP sounds like grouper. I guess that seems like everything, right? Decaf wants to win. Okay, I had an idea today. This is the final note of the stream. What if you made a kombucha that tasted of Monster Ultra? Chat's silent for that one, huh? Chat is silent for that one. I actually had a job interview at a kombucha distillery today. So if I get that job, you know what I'm doing first thing. Okay. Oh. Yo, I have gut problem. I need my probiotics. I'm claiming IBS privilege. The Monster Cold Brew is great. I ain't hearing slander on that one, I'm sorry. The best is yeah, the oat milk Monster Latte in America. Yeah, seriously, all of the like Monster coffees that you can get in America are crazy good. Oh, he's making his own Club Mate. Are you fucking kidding me? Yo, I need all center energy drinks. Okay. I guess if that's everything, I should stop before I say more incriminating things. Thanks so much to everyone at All Center. Thanks for it was like really a pleasure to do this, and the setup was super straightforward. So thank you all for having me. Thank you all for the very active chat. I'm sorry I missed it during the talk, but I hope it was good. If anyone has any questions, literally just DM me. Yeah, definitely get serum. And then thank you for inspiring me to become a streamer girl and never make music again. I'll see you online. Do I need to plug my Insta? You probably still have it. I won't bother. Oh yeah, you can fucking tip me though. PayPal.me/JenniferWalton666. Thank you very much. Give me money for my poor little slow heart. If I get the kombucha job, maybe it won't be as big of a deal. But till then, thanks everyone. Top donator. Top donator, I will personally record an inhale for you. You get your very own inhale, never to be heard again. And I'll record you a birthday message. Okay. What time is it? It's not 8 yet. Oh shit, someone actually fucking donated. Thank you so much. I'm not going to read out names just in case, but if that was you, thank you very much. That was really kind of you. Okay. For real. Cheers. See you later, guys.